Hello guys, good morning from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Welcome back to the channel. Early morning here, 9:12 a.m. here. I woke up. Yesterday was a long day. I did still review a couple of other fragrance reviews. I shot two videos. I woke up, nice little morning, coffee and all that. So I thought like I missed out on one day. Let me do some more extra reviews. So this particular episode is very particular. Okay, we're gonna be talking about some citrus aromatic fragrances, five to be very specific. This video can run a little bit long. Okay, this is not gonna be one of those short videos where I rush and all that. I want to talk about these five fragrances in particular for us, like a serious good reason. If you're a fan of citrus-based fragrances, but you want a little bit more, just a little bit more than just citrus, you want citrus aromatic, something to do with lavender on the dry down, a little bit of oak moss, and then a little bit of a spicy kick sometimes, rosemary or something like pepper, something like these notes. So uh, if you are a fan of this kind of, like, you can say, not really barbershop, but a little bit more than just citrus. So these are kind of like not the most late or latest releases, like newest releases, but these are from back in the time. I reviewed them all on my channel, and I was waiting one day I could put them in one family, like one video, and I can talk about them. So I have Cerruti 1881, I have Boucheron Purom EDP, then I have Eau De Rochas, I have Armani Eau Purom, and I have Dior Eau Sauvage. These five fragrances I'll talk about, and I will talk in terms of my preference. Okay, five all the way to number one. So it's gonna be more like a discussion. I hope you are prepared for it. If you do not like to watch this kind of reviews, you can skip it. I don't mind at all. So let's start. So first of all, this citrus aromatic I was telling you, maybe sometimes you can consider them as a fougère. Okay, fougère, or Mark would say fougère. I do not understand much of French, but French is a difficult language for most. So thing is, nowadays you get a lot of these lemony perfumes. Citrus fragrances are very, very popular. If you talk about fragrances like Mancera Lemon Lime, Dior Homme Cologne, or something like a lot of citrus, Versace, Pour what like majority of fresh fragrances, they have citrus in them. But where did these citrus come from? Like the basic framework, where these fragrances, okay, the citrus is done in these were in different level. They gave us the platform, or the world the platform to build upon. Okay, something like these fragrances, Chanel Allure Sport Cologne, these are more modern, lemon heavy. So these five are for mature crowd, and I have reviewed them all from time to time. Let's go one by one. Let's talk a little bit more in depth. Okay. So these ones, Cerruti, I did not review many fragrances from this house, and this is the least citrus in there, but it's more like a fougère proper, barbershop style, green fragrance. And the thing is, longevity is good. I wear this for summertime. The bottle is really lovely. I love the bottle. The lemon is really nice in the opening, but it gives you more like a lavender on the dry down. It's a very masculine fragrance. If you are a youngster, you'll not like it. If you started your game, you'll not like it, because it has a mature vibe to it. Like something like YSL Live Jazz. If you like that, this is a fragrance like that. So this is more for mature crowd, just like the rest. But I'm not saying this is the least favorite of mine in this list only, but I really like wearing this. It's a fresh, for me, 4 to 5 hours solid on me. And this house I need to review a bit more, but the bottles I just really love. The bottles are amazing. This fragrance can be considered as barbershop. This fragrance can be considered something like a signature scent worthy, and the longevity is good. Okay, so that's the first one. The citrus is very, very nice, very beautiful. Give it a try, and it's really inexpensive. Okay, not expensive at all. Next one I'm gonna go. It looks like a temple. It looks like a ring sometimes. It is inspired by a ring that Boucheron make, like Cartier. They're also this house is also like a jewelry manufacturer, so they do make these beautiful bottles. So there's the EDT version and there's the EDP. So the EDP version, you can see it's a frosted glass at the side, and it's gonna be see-through. And I reviewed both EDT and EDP. I had a small miniature of EDT, but I opted for this one, EDP, because it's more robust and it's more serious. This is good for winter. This in this whole list is the longest lasting. It's a beast. You will get at least 8 to 10 hours from this. Okay, and this perfume is just for, if you just look at that atomizer, it's not in a modern style. The bottle is not in a modern style. Used to be, this house used to be in Bangladesh like $45, 55. Now they're going more like selling for $80, you know, because everything's going up in pricing. But you can take a look around. You can score this still maybe 45 to 55 if you look for a tester. But I actually prefer the whole full presentation. If a tester doesn't come with a cap, it's a loss for me because the whole beauty of the bottle is just nice. Boucheron Jaipur was, I think, inspired by India, the other more famous body of this fragrance in this house. And that one, I think, it had something to do with Jaipur, the city of India. That one is really strong. Also got lemon, but more spice, vanilla, and oriental fragrance. This one is straight up for people who love opening blast of citrus. If you enjoyed the fragrance, I used to have a fragrance called Versace L'Homme. Okay, I gave it to my dad. I don't know where he kept it. I wish I could put it in this video. Okay, that is a beautiful powerhouse of a citrus aromatic and leather. This one, I think you get spices, okay, with the citrus on the opening, and this fragrance pushes, like continues to project 2 3 hours. So you see, these are kind of fragrances that people hardly talk about. Like only mature reviewers talk about them because they understand the value. Something like Scentland or someone like Dan Norton or maybe Greggy Boy. These are our OG reviewers. They will talk about it. New reviewers, they will just mostly uh, like talk about modern and latest releases. I'm old guy, okay, I'm 42, but this is why I can appreciate these fragrances, okay. So this first two, Boucheron Purom and 1881, these two are particularly for people who love barbershop, powerhouse kind of style fragrances. This is must try before you buy. Do not blind buy these, okay, because their fragrances, it's like complex, okay. You may not understand right away. I sold off this first bottle that I bought some few years back, 2017. I used this much, then I'm like, nah, I'm bored of it. I did not understand it. So this is the beauty of the game. It teaches you a lot of things. Be patient with the fragrance. You never know when you fall in love, okay. So the third one and all the way to number one, these are safer in terms of smell. And also, I would say if you really want to pick, I would say top three picks are these. Even if you feel like on the borderline, like, hey, I could call a pass or not my cup of tea, these three definitely can be a cup of tea. And then again, there's no guarantee or no safety, or I mean, there's nothing safe about these fragrances. You may not like it as much as I do because these are again fragrances. Fragrances are subjective. The third one, you know, is a fragrance I bought in recent times. I saw so much hype on this in foreign pages. People like love it so much. I'm sorry, in the background, if you can hear, the cockroaches are going crazy. They just woke up in the morning and they're just like very loud, four of them. Sorry. So Eau De Rochas, it's like the Rochas is not a new house for me. I did Rochas Man, I did Fragrance Lame, Rochas, what's that name? The Tuxedo Clone, Rochas Man. Sometimes I forget stuff, yes. If you know this fragrance, beautiful creation, masterpiece, mustache or mustache. I have reviewed quite like a few numbers of fragrance from Rojas. This is my most favorite for summer, okay, summer and spring, because the citrus, lemon, rosemary, whatever is in there, it's not a beast mode fragrance. This is a fragrance, short-lived pleasure. I get like 2 to 3 hours from it, not more than that. They should make a robust version of it, but just take a look at the bottle. These bottles, it reminds me of Eau Sauvage in a way, because it reminds me of the sandy beach after the waves are gone and leaves this print on the sand. Take a look at the juice color. I got a massive 200 ml because you need to really go heavy on the trigger if you really want to make it last. Still then, it's an EDC fashion fragrance. You will not get more than 2 to 3 hours, okay, if you're lucky. But if you stay in indoors, maybe you'll get the 3.5 hour mark, but that's about it. But the smell, so magical. I cannot tell you why, when I got it, why I loved it so much. Man, there's just so much. There's a rosemary again. All of these, I think, have something common, like rosemary, maybe lemon, lavender. This one, the lavender is not very heavy or bitter. Maybe there's a basil, a little bit of a greenery, but this perfume is a genuine masterpiece. Back in 2016-17, when I started my reviews, I would tell you like a fragrance cannot be a masterpiece if it's not long lasting. My vision changed, over the years. A fragrance doesn't have to be beast mode always. Sometimes the composition, it can be an award winning fragrance. So that is gonna be these next two. Let's talk about my number two. So this is called Armani's Eau Purom line. Okay, I have reviewed all of them from this line. I think there's a green one, there was a black one like a Armani Eau Night or something, and then there was a Oud, there was Eau de Sidra, a few more. Check out Armani Eau line, Joyamin, you'll see. So this one I don't have a vintage, but these phrases are getting rare in Bangladesh. I don't see them anymore. Okay, and this is a perfume. If you see the bottle, just take a look at the bottle. It speaks of character. Okay, it speaks of class, and I call these fragrances sort of like James Bond in a bottle. So again, the bottle is again not the most modern, like something like Polo or Jean Paul. Those are more modern bottles. These are for men who have been in fragrance game for some time. Let me respray. I haven't used it for a while. And Armani Oporum, the vintage. Some people said that was the beast mode of this. I never found any of this fragrance except this one, beast mode. Okay, so don't look for a vintage unless it's like within $100 or so. The vintage of this stuff goes for $200 to $300, $400. Not worth the price tag in my humble opinion unless you're filthy rich. Okay, but the smell, if you can get this, okay, this is so beautiful. This is like one of the finest citrus you can smell. Man, I just love the lemon. I think this is the most favorite lemon note out of the five for me. Okay, it goes on definitely. Again, it will have some kick. Maybe some cedar, maybe some, I don't know what else was in there. Maybe some floral, some oak moss at the dry down. Maybe there was some peppery kick. I don't remember what pepper it was, but I distinctly remember this fragrance was very masculine. Okay, even though it's a citrus aromatic and not very heavy. Man, when you smell it, it smells like a real man. So must try Armani Oporum. Definitely a sleeper fragrance, a very, very strong statement. It will remind you of Sean Connery when he was a James Bond. Okay, that's the best way I can put it. It's a suit. It's a fragrance of class. It exudes like confidence of a real man. Okay, Italian style cologne. Okay, Armani is one of the best creations ever. So Armani has newer lines. This line people don't see. Check out this fragrance. You will not be disappointed unless you are a fan of like Shura or something, like you want 10 hours. You're not going to get it from this. Okay, this fragrance you get for the beautiful. You just want to wear a light white shirt, just go for a drive on your coupe on holidays, beautiful breeze. That's the kind of style. Leads me to number one. As you can see, I have two bottles. Okay, and I'll explain why I got this. Is Dior Eau Sauvage. Okay, this is my most favorite out of the bunch. Why? This is 1966 creation. I believe that was the time, but this is not vintage version. Vintage versions, they look different. I think it came out with a splash. Okay, I'll tell you the information I have on these. Dior Eau Sauvage is the fragrance that uh, I learned from Mark Robe08, the fragrance guru. He's the one who told about this fragrance, that this is the basic framework of all. This is the daddy of all lemon-based perfumes. A little bit dated. I never really felt that way, with all due respect. I feel this fragrance is timeless, classic. It will never go out of style, never. When I was a kid, okay, this fragrance were used by my uncles, like my father colleagues in the place we used to grow up. Like we grew up in a place called Buet. It's an university residential area. So my father is a profession, by profession is a professor. So all the uncles used to live in the building. So I remember the 80s used to live in this campus. So they used to play, the uncles used to play tennis at late night, and there was lights and stuff. The aunties, they would also play. Nowadays, you don't see that kind of activities. People are mostly into uh, social gatherings or Facebook chit chat. The real life is gone missing. Back in the days, everybody knew each other in person. They used to go to their houses and they used to have like a tea, have conversation, different times. I remember these fragrances were floating around the air everywhere. Classy people. My uncle, he used to be, like a captain of a ship, right? So he used to wear this. So I think even the name Eau Sauvage gave birth to fragrances modern day. Dior Sauvage, I believe. And then the formulation changed over the years. But I really feel Eau Sauvage and its flankers something like. So I'm talking a little bit more. This is like the vintage, super vintage now. Eau Sauvage Parfum. This line is just a different line for grown-ups. Okay, you can try Dior Sauvage line. Good, Dior Sauvage is excellent, but nothing beats Dior Sauvage for me, for sure. Okay, so the older version that I have, let me just show you one thing. They look the same, by the way, almost same. The juice color and the bottle, everything, but there are differences. Okay, the older version, I bought this from Malaysia. I don't know which year it was, but this one is not magnetic cap. It clicks onto place, and I just love the wavy pattern of the bottle. Like first time I got it, it looks like beautiful. So these new ones, I think relatively newer bottles, they have magnetic, and I like this. Not much difference between them in terms of scent or longevity. This fragrance is strange. Okay, this is perhaps the most like fleeting. Like it doesn't want to last on most people. They say I get 30 minutes. Like fragrances like what's that fragrance called? Um, what's that fragrance called? Like Neroli Portofino. Man, hold on. Yeah, sorry. When I can't remember, I really feel angry. 4711 cologne, massive bottle of. I think how much was this? The bottle is maybe 500 or 800 ml. Let me check. I bought this like this year. I think this is an 800 ml bottle. Okay, so this is again a vintage. Maybe I should have perhaps should have put it here because this is also citrus, but this and this something in common. Okay, Eau Sauvage and 47, they don't want to last. But at times I noticed one thing: Eau Sauvage on a warmer day lasted up to 4 to 5 hours on me. So it's not like one fixed, longevity. This thing can last, different on different people. Another interesting fact: this is till date in France the most sold Dior fragrance in the boutiques. Men absolutely love this DNA. They carry it generation after generation. They just wear it. If you can find older batch, definitely go for it. But even the modern ones, not bad. But the prices have gone high. This used to be $80 when I bought this for the first time. $80. Now I paid around 130, 140 bucks for 100 mil, and I am happy. It's worth the money. So this got rosemary, the most beautiful rosemary kick you can get in a fragrance, and it's just so lovely. I just love Eau Sauvage. Man, this fragrance is timeless piece of art. Okay, so these 5 fragrances, check them out, must check. Even if you want, buy a massive bottle of this one, 4711 cologne, but you'll never get longevity out of it. Okay, but this 5, if you are a big fan of citrus aromatics, you want something masculine, timeless piece of classics, try these. Check out my full review, then you'll see. And I do not want to apologize today because I made a long video. I meant to do it. Okay, I want to talk about them. So there you go. Have a nice day. Wait for another review, then we'll upload it. Take care.